but I have the rights to play it because I bought this track, and so I'm going to give it a little whiz, a little whiz. But welcome first and foremost to Standing in My Truth. Now, for the next 4 or 5 days, here we go. For the next 4 or 5 days, I'm going to be talking to various people about love. Love in COVID, love outside of COVID, lost love, all kinds of love. If you've lost love, so I don't own the copyright, so I want to make sure they don't stop this video. So here we go. To be in love, and that's enough for them. Good evening, good afternoon, positive affirmations to you all out there. This is brand new. This is not like my normal Standing in My Truth shows. We've decided to bring some fun, try and cut the doom and gloom. You know, thoughts are out there to anybody that is going through everything and anything and feel numb, and they feel that they want to share, then this is the place to try and find some love. And right now, this is half an hour every day. There'll be various people, apart from myself, storytelling. But I want to bring my special guest on. They are an amazing couple. So remember, this is the Love Zone, love episode. Come in, use your imagination, feel warm, grab a drink, put your feet up, put the kids to bed, wait half an hour into the Love Zone. Let me bring my first guests in to talk about how they met. Hi. Everybody, welcome JD and Tasha. Now, I've had either or both on the show before, but they had the most amazing story how they met and how, love conquers all. So, as I said to everybody, take a pew, kick back. I'm about to grab my...
Oh, love that.
Ready. And over to you, JD and Tash.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, this is Boo Boo.
This is our love child.
Boo 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 Boo. Boo Boo is Russian.
I love it.
Right? Now, Boo Boo, as you can see, she's a little confused.
It's way past your bedtime. Put the child to bed. Hi, guys. So nice to see you. This is such a nice segment to be on, and it is so relevant for the current climate. It's so important that people just show love instead of the negativity. There's so much negativity going on in the mainstream, and that's why I applaud you, Val, for mixing it up and just spreading love, love, love. JD, baby loves.
Right. So here we are in lockdown, locked out in lockdown, but in love.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
So, who would have thought, right? And for people out there listening, not sure, alone, I'm sure there's people that might listen that's alone.
Yeah.
Do you know what? We will love you while you can't love yourself, right?
This is why I love this guy, because he's so thoughtful on and off camera. Like, this is really it, and it's just about finding a connection, and being super forgiving, like unconditional love. You have to take the good with the bad, and that's what we do. We are so compatible in the weirdest of ways. I mean, look at us.
No, but you have to fathom out the fact, right? You have to fathom out.
Look at us. What is that supposed to be?
Long-term relationship, you just got to do what the other one says, right? That's all you have to do. It's not complicated. right? And accept that, you know, you go to bed together, you wake up together, you know, and it's what it is. You know, transparency, truth, and all the rest of it. It's really, you know, I feel very sad sometimes for people that I see that are in pain, right? And, you know, they might be together in love and this, that, and the other, and then monetary things and all that, you know, stuff. But it's, you know, Val, from our discussions, it's an inside job, right?
Yeah.
It's the inside that screws you up, right? Yeah. You know, I don't think in the 5 years we've actually had a crossword.
Not one. Apart from that, flowers for it. We won't go into that, but you know what I'm talking
you know
about.
What? there was a time, and it takes two people to have crosswords.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So providing you got the, you know, you're big enough to walk away and say, you know what, if that's your stuff, get on with it. I'll see you in an hour's time. Because what I learned a long time ago was that women, when they're left alone after whatever's going on, it's actually more painful for them. And they realize that. And it's very difficult for men to leave women alone, because I was once told, right, if you want the answer now, the answer's no. Right?
Right.
Give me time to think about it and it might be different. But if you want an answer right now, the answer's no.
I think what you're trying to hit on is that you have to listen.
You've got to listen. You've got to understand that when someone says enough is enough, I'll speak to you later, right? It doesn't mean let me keep on ringing you.
Yeah.
Right? Now, you know my background, you know, and I have the personality that says I want it and I want it now. Right? Not interested in the circumstances. I'm not interested in how you feel. Yeah, you need to sort me out first. And
that ain't happening.
Well, it doesn't happen, right? You know, there's been occasions, and we both know what they are, right? Where, yeah, you know, you got out of my car, slam my door, and you know what? That's all right. But the biggest thing was getting in my car with chewing gum on your shoes.
This is early doors. We're going back. Wait, can we talk about how we actually first met?
How did you actually meet?
Yes.
Well, it was a mistake.
Listen, let me clarify that. So, without going too deep into stuff, I was obviously living in Mexico and had come out of a 17-year relationship. And I'd been, in my mind, a very good girl. I've been a good wifey for 17 years. And I was under the impression, as we do, as we go through our rebounds after long-term relationships, that I wanted to be on my own now. I've been in a relationship which is like a marriage for 17 years, and I want to go and explore. You know, and being quite honest with you, I was like, I want to get down and dirty. That's what I want to do. You know?
I know that one.
Right. And we met, love child number 2. We actually met on a dating site, believe it or not.
Oh, wow. What dating site was that?
Oh,
I can't let you know. Because, no.
Do you remember?
Yeah, I do. I remember exactly what happened.
Good.
So there is a dating site. It will remain nameless for now because it's not one of these ones that is like, you know, on, was it Flower, this, that, and the other? And
I have no clue.
Yeah, it's not one of these well-known ones, right? Or not well-known, but it is well-known, but not for the sort of stuff that we're talking about.
Listen, we were clearly on there for 2 different reasons. I was on there to have a little bit of fun.
And I was on there to have a lot of fun.
Okay. Right. The funniest thing is, let me take leader. The funniest thing is when we met, it was simply because I'd been on a few dates and I'd actually realized that I must be out of my right mind. This is really not what I want to do. If I'm having a unified relationship, I want to meet somebody normally. I had a bash, you know, and I was actually coming off of the site. I was on about 3 or 4, you know, and this guy came up. And we kind of just connected instantly, apart from the fact that I said to him, you know, I don't think we're compatible. You look like a bit of a skinhead to me. I think maybe you might put me in the body. And
Oh, no, there was other questions. Am I safe with you?
Yeah, that type of thing, you know, because his picture didn't do him any justice. That's the truth. You know, he looked like a skinhead. And I was like, nah, you know. But our first meeting, and I think this is the trait of our whole relationship, is we kind of sat down and I remember throwing my legs over his armchair because I went to meet him. And
you know what she said? I'm going to be a bit late. You're a bit old. Are you going to be up?
Like I said, the picture didn't do him any justice. It didn't do him any justice. I was like, we can use this other time in the bed.
And then we had this whole journey from East London to Southwest London.
Right.
I'm getting these phone calls, Val. I'm here. I'm there.
I can't find the
I can't find it. Where are you? I'm by Harrods. No, you're nowhere near me. I'm like, Harrod, which side of the road? I mean, it was insane.
That's the boring stuff. But when we did
I think that's funny. I don't care. Tell the
The
story.
funniest thing was I looked out my window and there was this effervescent young woman getting out of a red post box on 4 wheels, right? Because she was in Mummy T's car.
I was in Mummy T's car at the time.
Okay. And then it's like, I'm here. I said, yeah, okay, so come upstairs. I don't know if I want to. Okay, fine. So you've driven for an hour.
Well, the lighting was bad as well, babe. Like I said, it didn't do
You can't see in the light.
And I didn't have my bins on as well, so I couldn't.
Right.
Really... And I was a little bit fearful, big guy. I was like, what have I got myself into?
Yeah.
But like I said, the minute we kind of sat down, bumped heads, and
Listen.
I think within the first couple of hours, you told me everything.
The reality is, right, that, when you trust and meet someone, you go with what you go with. And that's what happened. And the funniest thing, there's lots of funny stories, right? There's too many for this half an hour.
Yeah.
I'll give you a couple of for instances, okay? So that we moved from Chelsea down to the wilds of North Devon, right?
Yes. Yes.
So being in Chelsea, you've got to have the big, the big whip, right?
Plastic fantastic.
And you've got to have, it's got to be new and it's got to be perfect. So me, I got this, I had a great Mercedes, right? It was one of them ones that people go, wow, everywhere I went. So this one gets in my car one day, and I look down, and there is
rolls her eyes.
Chewing gum ingrained into my leather floor mats, which were diamond cut. And I'm like, okay.
Babes, you acted like it weren't no thing, but I saw the vein in your neck pulsating.
And you know the other thing that happened, Val? Right? I actually managed to get it out. She's looked at me, how have you done that? And you know what? I learned a long time ago that if you use the same chewing, I said, give me your shoe. Right?
Cray.
Give me your shoe. So she gave me a shoe, and I said, okay, let me take this chewing gum off. I took the chewing gum off of there. Okay, and if you use the same chewing gum, it will take it up. Right? And it just cleaned the whole thing in one go.
So you see anybody, if you got chewing gum that gets stuck, use the same shoe to get it off.
There was many funny stories like that. Obviously, like we obviously cream our skin, and what about the leather seats?
So the first time I went to pick Tash up from her, she was at her mum's, right? I get this address, E17 5, and I won't repeat the rest of it because people banging at Mummy T's door, right? So I turn up in Walthamstow, okay, and I'm going up around this estate, all right, it's like a all the houses right in the road.
Yeah, they're like a little mews
sort
of thing.
Like a little cul-de-sacs, and I go to the street.
Yeah.
Can't be the gaff. So I drive down, I'm looking for the number. I see the number, and all of a sudden I see Mummy T's head come out the window with the curtain. This one comes down the stairs looking absolutely ravenous.
Ooh.
She'd skinned. What's the name to all your legs?
Oil, like
oiled up all my legs. So she sits in my car, my Napa leather seats. Yeah.
All oiled.
Oiled up, man. I'm so nervous, right? I don't even know where to go. I end up with a fine.
Ticket.
No, a fine for turning left when I shouldn't do. I'm just so nervous, right? I'm going back.
Wow.
Let's go, Nick. Around here. All those conversations. But you know what?
When you two got together, when you were, like the first date, what was the conversation? I mean, you said that you got on like a house on fire, even though it's like you say you're chalk and cheese. What was like, how did you feel? Was you nervous, Tash? I know that Davey says he was.
Hostage.
He did.
I took a hostage.
We literally sat down and It was almost like maybe he had a lot to say and hadn't had the opportunity, and I had a lot to say and hadn't had the opportunity. And when you remember our original mission, let's keep it real here, was just to have a little bit of fun. All right, we're all
Right,
and that kind of went out the window. And that's how I think we are together today, because we had an instant conversational connection. And like I said, you know, where he's coming from. He told me his truth, no pun intended, and it was ours to just talk things out. And that's where I felt
beautiful.
Yeah, that's what that hadn't happened to me before. You know, with your kids and you're growing up and you experience things, and it's all about trying to woo somebody and look.
But then we had
good in somebody's eyes.
all the other stages, you know, meet the parents and all that.
Well, not that. Remember when you had the episode where you were a bit sick.
All right, so. You know my footballing history, right?
Yes.
So I was invited. Millwall were playing at Wembley in the playoff, either the finals, either semi-finals or finals, right?
Get to it, babes.
This is why they're still together.
You know. Anyway, the night before this event, right? Yeah. We went out and I think it must have been muscles or something. Went to bed, right? And you know what? I actually projectile vomited in my bedroom.
Sorry for anyone that's having dinner at 6:45.
Right? That's all right. So this one decided, am I staying or am I going? Do I help him or do I run out the door? Right? She stayed.
These are the moments. These are the moments that are...
They define.
Yeah, and shift, you know.
So the following day, I went to Wembley. I was on the touchline this Saturday with my dad, and I was great. I looked great. I couldn't walk. But I went, and I remember my dad said to me, "What's going on?" I said, "Yeah, that's it. I found the person. That's it. I'm not looking nowhere else. That is it. I'm done and dusted, right?" And he said, "Well, who's this person?" And I think I might have rung you. And it was before we even WhatsApp. We did on WhatsApp. I had a funny story with Texas. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
So listen, when I first met Tasha, bless her, she had a couple of phones. And the phone that you were using was one of these old school Nokia.
Well, remember, I was coming from Mexico, and the material.
And do you know what? She actually ran out of space for the amount of texts we were sending, right?
Yeah, well, you were sending a lot.
And she said to me, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Why?" She said, "Because none of your texts make any sense." Listen, I could sit here for hours.
Oh
and give
my
you
God, your story. So you're both. What I guess is that. It was the instant connection.
Communication.
How long have you been together so far?
Well, I was just asked how long have we been together.
I couldn't quite remember if it was 4
Can you imagine? I can't quite remember.
It feels like a lifetime, right?
An easy lifetime.
It doesn't actually.
It does for me. It feels like a lifetime that I have.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Do you know what she said a few weeks ago? It took me 3 months to really understand that I loved you.
That's a long time for me.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
But what was that epiphany? What made you come to that epiphany, Tash?
Straight away for me, it was the communication. I've always had a problem because I've had long-term relationships, but I've always felt unheard. And I went straight in and I'd said to him, "Look, I'm coming from this space. I've been in a relationship for 17 years. I'm not looking for another marriage. I want to have a bit of fun. And these are the things that really ag me from the get-go, wasn't it?" And that was, I really feel that I've had a problem. And I know it's some of my own stuff that I feel very unheard. As long as we can communicate, we are good. You know, and that was where I was coming from. That's the truth, you know. And it was easy for me to fall into place because there was no jacket, there was no glove to try and fit into. It was just seriously, it sounds so cliche.
You know, some of the other funny...
it's beautiful. It basically, you just came as one. It was like
and
you
also,
together as one.
Yeah, but also because he has substance, you know, he has substance where he's coming from. He's turned his life completely around in his own story. And it wasn't like just one of those fly-by-night relationships. It was like I was really interested in what was going on. And the fact that he was, if you don't mind me saying, 14 years clean at that time or something like that, 13, 12 years clean,
Almost
whatever
17,
it was.
so it'll be 12.
12 years clean. So I was really interested that here was this guy all these years, over a decade down the line, and still giving back, mentoring. We were still going to meetings. He introduced me to meetings, and I was skipping like I was skipping to school, because I had my own inner stuff going on. So it was relative to me, but in a different way. So there was a connection that it wasn't sexual, don't get me wrong, we're connected, but it wasn't that immediate, because that's what a lot of relationships are about, isn't it?
Right.
It's about the sex. Now, let me finish.
I totally agree. That was one of I did that in my podcast show today.
Yeah.
We mistake lust for love.
Yeah. And
That's a mistake.
That's what I thought.
Absolutely.
Remember, I went in thinking, I just want to have a bit of fun now. I don't feel like I've had so much fun. I want to go in and have fun. But the creature comforts that I love, the sharing, the caring, the communication, it's almost like that cliche when they say,
But
when
you
you're
know
not
what?
looking for it,
Sometimes you also get overprotective, right? I'm a very protective person, right?
She goes, ooh.
No, it's, I see some stuff going on, and I go, do you know what? You shouldn't be doing this, or this person shouldn't be doing this to you. And
then, but how do you take that on board, Tash, when he does get protective?
It's awful.
Are you good with it? Are you fall into line with it? Is that how you?
Absolutely not. And that's
she'll do what she needs to do, right? What she wants to. But the fact is, it doesn't stop me being protected. Right.
And this is what I mean. We work on each other's goods and bads, because don't get me wrong, I get and I respect that that's the way he's feeling, but I still will not fit into a box, because that was another thing.
And that's not the intention.
I don't want to be bird caged.
But that's not the intention. The intention is to look out for your best interests.
And the understanding is in the middle that, you know what, you've got your isms and schisms, and I've got my isms and schisms.
I've got none.
And we can.
You keep saying this. Right?
I love you, and I know that I'm only doing half an hour segments. It's amazing how half an hour, it's 9 minutes before it's 7 o'clock, and I
7 o'clock.
do you know what I mean? What would you, for both of you, sum it up for the pair of you, what love means to both of you, and we're out.
What does it mean? A large bank account. Page 3, not page 63.
I knew JD would do that.
This is another thing, is we haven't had one day that passed that we don't laugh and giggle and belly laugh.
You've just said it. You've just summed it up.
Yeah.
There isn't a day that there isn't laughter.
You gotta have fun.
There's different people with ways of life, and this is why the next 10 days there'll be different stories. There might not be any. I might have to just
come up with different rationale to what we do, right? But the reality is that for longevity, bit of honesty, right? You have to understand the other side of the fence. As I said, I don't think we've ever had a crossword. We've certainly never argued more than 5 minutes. Right?
Wonderful.
And the fact is that if that's the case, I have to go see Boo Boo.
I love child.
And Boo Boo.
I love child, the dog. Bring Boo Boo back and say bye-bye.
I think for me, I know this sounds just awful, but love is everything. I'm a big advocate for love. I'm always like, if it's worth salvaging without sabotaging yourself, go for it.
Thank you guys. And there is so many different forms of love, and thank you for your honesty. Thank you for coming on and sharing. And let's hope that we can bring some joy to people who have lost love, found love, need to bring back love, don't understand love, and what can they do?
People that are struggling, Val. There's people out there that are struggling, right?
Yes, they are.
And the one word of advice that I always give: never give up.
Thank you. Thank you. And that's why I'm doing the show, because I am guilty of someone who gave up on the whole thing of love. And the message today, as I said, is if you start to love yourself, no matter who you meet, that will transcend. It would be double fold. And so where we've forgotten how to love, forgotten how to breathe, forgotten how to be in a relationship, it's to look around and think, well, what do I want? What can I bring to the table? And you see, once you bring that to the table, no matter who you meet, they already know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I'm going to finish on this one. To thyself be true.
Yes.
That's very true. There you go. And oh, there you go. I don't need to say anything more. To yourself be true. And on that note, the love session is over for today. And everyone can join me back tomorrow, 6:30, because we got a double bubble. We got a 6:30 show. And I want to also, Tash, do you mind just mentioning your show? You've got a live 24 marathon on Saturday. Starts Friday night, actually, doesn't it?
Yeah, Friday, 1 minute.
Give a plug for that.
Yeah, so obviously I'm the founder of Black Wall Street London, and we have a 24-hour extravaganza whereby I'm going to showcase all of the amazing Black-owned businesses and organisations that are under our umbrella, so to speak, in collaboration and in honour of Black Pound Day. So it's all about shining a light on our excellence. That's it. Tune in Friday night midnight till Saturday night midnight.
Yes, 24-hour marathon. And I think there's a few of us jumping in. I'll be coming in to talk about love. I don't care. I'm bringing some love to your platform. It's all about love. Okay, I'm going to leave you to everybody out there. If you want to continue, if you want to join in, if you want to ask questions, please do 6:30 every day for the next 10 days. Don't know if I can keep up this because I don't know how much more I can talk about love. But but all you got to do is go to standinginmytruth.co.uk. All of them are on there. You can check out this. You can watch this all over again. Love you guys. Tasha and JD, please big it up for the guys.
One love, guys. One love.
Love. Sorry?
Unconditional. One love.
Unconditional love to everybody out there, no matter who you are, what color, creed, and if you are suffering, we are sending you love. If you've lost a loved one, we're sending you love. If you've sorry,
do not suffer alone.
That's right. What I'm trying to say is, if there's anyone who have lost a loved one, especially through COVID, we are sending you love.
Yeah.
If you are hurting and you're broken up in your relationship, we are hoping that you work it out and you find a way to come back together, or peacefully know that if you've gone apart, you can still find a way to have middle ground and be friends. This is what this is all about, finding a new way to cope. God bless you and good night.
See you, Val.
Bye. Good night, folks. See you tomorrow, 6:30. Coming up after this show is, oh dear, my computer's telling me rubbish. But coming up after this show, we have Lawrence M. White to tell you all about his wonderful career as an artist. Have a great day. I should say have a great evening. So no matter where you are in the world, take care. Bye-bye.